Yes, ladies and gentlemen, people of all races, creeds, and colors, welcome back to the channel. We've got a few things to discuss this evening. Not a massive amount of breaking news, or say fresh news, if you were, but it's more sort of regurgitated stuff. But some talking points to cover at least. So thankfully, there's enough for me to create something for an upload for today, and it's going to be one heck of a late night upload as far as transfer talk is concerned. But what I'm also going to do for later on is pre-record a morning release. I'm going to try and get that one to be going live, or I say going live, basically get that one published and uploaded for about sort of say 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Local time. As of right now, it's about 10 past 9. So I'll try and get this one out for about say 9:30 ish thereabouts if I can. If not, it's between 9:30 and 10. So yes, it's a late upload. Late night upload, but an upload on the day nonetheless, and obviously a morning upload, which I'm actually going to be talking about the takeover situation and what on God's green earth is going on over there, because there is all sorts of things, which you've got things from conflicting or contradicting reports talking about the sale process being paused, and then Mike Keegan comes out and says, no, it's not paused, it's still going on. We've got people apparently saying that Sheikh Jassim's to blame for delays in the takeover bid, but I'm thinking, well, how has that happened? How has that been communicated? That's going to be covered when we get into that video. I'm going to give my thoughts and feelings about that, but basically this video, as the title suggests, it's a very freaking long title. I don't even know why I persist with going for long titles, because I'm pretty sure that half of the title, when you're scrolling through videos on YouTube, both on the mobile application but also on the PC, you probably won't be able to see the whole title. So well, then again, actually, I might be a bit cheeky, because it might encourage you to click on the video to actually see what the full title says before deciding whether you want to watch the video or not. So maybe I get a lot of people trying to figure out what the whole title says. But anyways, any way to cheat the system, right? But even so. Before we delve into things, I'll just kind of quickly cover everything title-wise. So HOJLAND deal delays. Apparently the deal is going to be delayed by up to 3 days. I can't for the life of me understand why that's the case. I mean, it's like the transfers are basically completed. He just needs to do a medical, and then you can sign the contracts and problem solved. But for some reason, there's been an added 3-day delay. So we're going to look into that. AMRABAT wants United. He has said yes. That's been reported by Fabrizio Romano. So make of that what you will. We'll have a look into what it is that Fabrizio Romano has said. And United make a compromise on the Fred price. What does that mean? Well, that means that United realise, well, some of the players that we want to get rid of, we can't get rid of because our asking price is too high. So let's start to bring those prices down. And Fred has his asking price, as I've already stated before, where I reckoned is probably all of these low ball offers coming in from different clubs is probably encouraged United to actually lower the asking price for the player. So it's as expected, to be honest. You know, I predicted that this would happen for a lot of the players, because you see some of the asking prices initially, you think that is ludicrous. It's like Scott McTominay. If loads of bids start coming in all of a sudden for Scott McTominay, and that probably, if Scott McTominay gets sold, it probably happen way later in the window as well on that front. But I think considering Fred's going, they might say, well, look, Scott McTominay, we're going to keep him, we're going to hold on to him, even though technically Fred is probably a more valuable player to Manchester United than Scott McTominay is, just purely on merit, just purely on how well the player complements the system, how well he fits the system. Like, take the height argument out of it. But we'll get into things as we go through. But before we start, make sure you are smashing a like on the video, subscribing if you haven't done so already. Let's not waste any more time. Or I'm going to waste a little bit more time. I'd say I call it wasting. It's not really wasting, but big ups to a certain individual, a certain channel that I went on last night. It's called, I believe it's called United Real Therapy is the name of the channel. Nuruddin is the bloke who runs that channel. Basically, was just doing a call-in show last night, and I was I say I was invited. There was an open invitation, but I hopped on there and welcomed me with open arms. So big ups to Nuruddin from the United Real Therapy. Do be sure to go check out that channel. I believe he's related to Saeed TV, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure I've seen him, those two together for many years, so I believe that they are related. But if they're not, correct me if I'm wrong. But even so, went on that channel, and it was a good show. It was a really good show. Lots and lots of different people. Just three simple questions about what you think about the season coming up. How optimistic are you? How do you rate the signings? And then what the thoughts and feelings are about the takeover process. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And I basically stated my theory that I had. That sort of it's like a brainstorm theory that I had on what was it, the stream earlier that day. So it's an interesting one. But do be sure to go check out United Real Therapy. That is the name on YouTube. Nuruddin. Can't miss his profile picture. He's got the chill shades on and all. I haven't got anything quite so similar. I mean, I've got clear lens, blue light glasses. That maybe I'll start wearing those. Who knows? But anyways, it's not wasting more time. I've already killed 7 minutes in this video. So I'm going to literally rifle through these points and cover these as quickly as I can, because I've got to do another video to record, and it is late in the evening. So it's not wasting more time. So HOJLAND deal delays. What is going on? What is going on? So we know that the transfer fee is agreed. We've got clubs agreement. We've got personal terms agreed. Everything's like wages. There's no problems here, right? There are no problems. The only people who could mess up this transfer at any point right now is Manchester United. It's the club. And by the looks of it, we're making things very, very difficult. According to Samuel Luckhurst here, that the transfer for Rasmus HOJLAND could be delayed by another 3 days. As for the reason behind that, I don't really know. Supposedly here that the follow-on comments from Samuel Luckhurst is that it's understood that HOJLAND arrived later than planned on Tuesday, and MUFC's schedule surrounding his signing has altered. HOJLAND was due to meet some supporters and conduct activities around his signing today, but that was cancelled, and the club are focusing on his medical. And it's almost like Samuel Luckhurst explains the step-by-step process as to how United like to drain the excitement and hype about a transfer out of the deal, and it makes no sense. Like, why would you do that? Like, seriously. Like, why is the guy not just coming in as soon as he's landing, going to do the medical, and then literally straight into the contract signing room, sign the contract, hold it up, take the pictures, do then a reveal video later on so that the club can put out a statement about the player, and so the whole club fan base, everybody knows Rasmus HOJLAND is officially a Manchester United player. Let's wait for that announcement video to see how good he looks in all of these different media coverage things, right? So MUFC are now looking at a possible weekend announcement for HOJLAND around the home friendly against Lens at 12:45 p.m. on Saturday. Bloody waste of time this is. Senior MUFC sources believe HOJLAND is a rough diamond who could be developed into one of Europe's European football elite goal scorers under coaching of Erik ten Hag. Is what it is with that. I have reserved judgments over HOJLAND. It's like one of those that over time he's going to have to prove me. He's going to have to prove to me and any other fans in the fan base that question the certainty about his ability. And Ten Hag's going to have to prove to everybody that these players that are perhaps not as well known are 100% worth the investment. I mean, it's a lot of money to spend on a player that's not guaranteed success for this club or guaranteed successful signing. For a signing that just works out and does well. There's no guarantee for that. So it's a lot of money for something that's very, very uncertain, because sometimes you can deal in more certain subjects or more certainty in subjects with certain players. When you sign a world-class player, you say, well, there's much more likely that they're going to do a good job as opposed to someone who's not really proven yet. So, it's kind of you have to give it some time and give it a bit of patience and trust that the manager knows what he wants and knows what he's doing with what he wants. So it's a matter of time that we have to see with that. But let me know your thoughts and feelings. It's just another one of those things, isn't it, with this club? Like to make all the simple things really difficult, really indirect, absolutely bore people to death with it. And then by the time he's wearing a United shirt, no one cares anymore. It sucks for Rasmus HOJLAND, but it also sucks for the fan base, because we want to be excited about new signings. We want to be excited about new players. So next point, AMRABAT wants United. He wants United. So Fabrizio Romano has apparently stated here that AMRABAT has no doubts. He has said yes to MUFC. He wants to move since first talks in June, despite Rich Saudi's bid. As we know, he's got links to other clubs in different countries. I think Barcelona were looking at him. I thought Tottenham Hotspur were looking at him, but nothing really materialised there. The only other bids, I think, or offers that had materialised were from Saudi Arabia, but apparently he has never said that he's staying or anything similar. No official bids yet, but supposedly he wants to prioritise a move to Manchester United over any Saudi Arabian bid, regardless of what potential personal terms might be stated there. No official bids yet, but MUFC will send it as soon as Fred or Donny leave. So Fred and Donny van de Beek are both very likely candidates to leaving United, even though technically I think Donny van de Beek is probably one of the players that should stay as compared to the other players that we should be getting rid of in United's midfield, such as Scott McTominay and Fred. But it sort of ties into the next point with Fred. But for me, AMRABAT is, it's what I called a cheap steal. I made a video on it a fair while ago now. That's still up on the channel, so do be sure to go check that out. It's actually one of my better performing videos, so yeah, make sure you go and check that out. But yeah, it's all good, I think, with the AMRABAT links. I think it's a bit frustrating that we are waiting for players to leave the club as opposed to just getting business done, because if Fred's going to leave regardless, if that's going to be the end goal here, that AMRABAT joins the club and Fred leaves, it shouldn't matter what order you do it in. What should matter is that you have both sets of business done. And Fred leaving is pretty much going to be off to Galatasaray. I think that's probably the Galatasaray are probably the favourites to signing Fred at this point. But for me, AMRABAT is an absolute necessity for the type of player he is, what the squad needs, and I think his age profile is good. Brings good experience. Apparently, he's played a friendly today. I can't remember which club it was against, but apparently a couple of highlights. A lot of people were happy with what they've seen from him in said preseason game. So it's looking good. It's looking good. And I think it's just really the case of, fingers crossed, United, put pedal to the metal and speed up on this, sorting these midfield dilemmas out, because Fred, we know, has got to leave. That's probably one of the easiest deals to get done, but most importantly, AMRABAT's become quite a high priority player on United's agenda. So this has to be something we've got to sort it out as quickly as possible. Before things start to get stale and before the player gets itchy feet and thinks, you know what, I can't be asked to wait anymore. I'm going to go to another club. So please, for God's sakes, United, get this deal done. Get this deal done now. Do it now. You've got the money to do it. Go and do it now. Because apparently it says that MEFC will send a bid as soon as Fred or Donny leave, so they know what they're going to bid. They know what the bid is. And it's just like, well, it can't be to do with them saying, well, we haven't got the money yet, because you can't guarantee that you'll have money from the sales that you can make, that will then be distinguished to go towards a bid to then be sent off to Fiorentina. So it's like, well, they must have the money now to structure the bid in a certain way. But now the fact that they're waiting to get rid of players first, it makes no sense. If they can submit a bid now, do it now. And that is literally as simple as that. If you can submit a bid now, do it now. Just don't waste any time with it. But tying into Fred, that United have made a compromise on the asking price for Fred, as expected, like I've said earlier in the video. That this is fully expected, because Fred original asking price at about £20 million. Apparently that's been dropped down to 15 million asking price. Galatasaray are lowballing a lot of offers. They first opened the bids with, I think, about £5 to £6 million, or I think it might have been euros actually. But they've been slowly upping the price. But I think what United have done right now is they've said, well, look, we originally wanted 20 million. If we can help encourage you to bid to a more realistic asking price, we want to stick it around 15 million pounds, because we reckon that that's well within a transfer fee range for you. Now, Galatasaray never spend big. No Turkish clubs spend big on transfer fees. They literally get all the cheap deals. They get all the cheap deals for players on the other side of 30, or players that are washed up. No offense to the Turkish league, but that's kind of what happens with the players that you sign, or the profile of the players that you sign. They are sort of in that category. So unfortunately for you, that's just kind of the harsh reality. That is the harsh reality of it. But Turkish clubs never bid big. So I'm more interested into knowing what's happened with Fulham. Where's their interest gone? Because they said, look, 20 million, unrealistic. We won't bid that. Well, we've just lowered the price to 15 million. So maybe you could go knock on Fulham's door and say, well, look, we'll let him go to you for 15 million. Maybe that's more suitable. I mean, they're a Premier League club, Fulham. I'm sure they could more than afford Fred's price, more than afford him. So I think for them, just go get it done. Just go get it done. I mean, Fred, we know Fred. Well, Fred doesn't want to leave, to say the least, but the club knows that they have to get rid of Fred because he's not really going to offer the club anything else moving forwards or contributing directly towards success, even though there are other players that technically should be leaving before Fred does. But that's just that, that's just completely dependent on what the club's agendas are in terms of what their squad planning is. And unfortunately, as much as we see logic as fans, the club don't see logic quite the same way as fans do. So that's a bit of a kick in the teeth, if you will. But Fred compromising the price down to £15 million, much more realistic fee for clubs to negotiate. And I think there should be in response to a price compromise, a little bit more interaction from more clubs, a more multitude of clubs towards actually getting the deal done, or entertaining the deal, to say the least. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about all the topics, the three topics that we've discussed tonight. So what you make about the HOJLAND deal delays, whether you think that's just a club being incompetent yet still, despite it essentially being a done deal. What you think about AMRABAT. Is that the green light for you? Do you have the green light for the AMRABAT signing? Do you give it the seal of approval, that big thumbs up? If you like the AMRABAT signing, make sure that you also show me that you like the AMRABAT signing by smashing that thumbs up button just down below there. And what you think about the Fred compromise price? Do you think 15 million is a much more realistic deal, I believed that Fred would probably end up getting sold around 12.5 million. So we are close to that sort of a region now. And I still think that's probably where we're going to go, where we're going to end up selling Fred for. I hope that it just gets sorted out soon rather than later, and that we can get the money in, sort out the replacement signing in Sofia and Amrabat, and then happy days. We can move on. We can sort out the centre back position where we've had Todibo in, I think it was yesterday's stream, that we had an appreciation for him. Well, apparently, Todibo, apparently there's links to Juventus coming out today. So if United want Todibo, they've got to start moving their arse real quick, real soon, and sell Maguire. Sell him. So West Ham, if you're watching, go and place that second bid and stick it around £30 million. Do that, and United might just sit down at the table and open negotiations with you. But who knows? I mean, West Ham at the moment are still yet to sign a player, so all hope seems to be drying up in the Hammers, well. So is what it is. It is what it is. But anyways, I'm going to wrap things up here. I've got another video to record, which I'm going to release tomorrow morning, early doors. So for anyone that does wake up tomorrow morning or does see the early morning video and wonder why curtains are shut and there's no daylight, just so you know, just the disclaimer there, it's a pre-record, right? It's a subject that's not really going anywhere, and it's a topical point that's going to be discussed over the next week or so anyway, so it doesn't really matter when that video comes out, as long as it's covered and as long as I'm giving my thoughts and feelings about the matter. It's as simple as that. But let me know all your thoughts and your feelings about the subjects just down in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I believe we are up onto 56 subscribers, so I am very happy with the way the channel is progressing. I'm just going to double check that figure now. I'm very happy with the way that the channel is progressing. It's, to some people, it's very slow progression. I mean, I see channels gaining thousands of subs in a day, and it's just like, oh, well, that's slow moving. That's a slow moving number. I'm just happy to see growth. Maybe my standards are on the floor. Maybe I should be demanding for hundreds of subs. Maybe I should be demanding thousands of subs. Maybe I should be having the winning mentality as a YouTuber. Who knows? But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so very much for watching, and for all of those that are subscribing and liking the content. You are the real MVPs to the channel, and we'll be seeing y'all again in the next one. Au revoir.